Hey everybody, welcome to part 3 of our RZR 800 custom audio roof build, whatever you want to call it. I call it the brass knuckle arachnophobia build here. For all of you guys that are up to date, I'm just going to jump right to it. For anybody that's not up to date, well, you can check out part 1 and part 2 of the videos. Those pretty much explain where I'm at and where I'm going with this. So we're going to jump right to it. Today I got my rings ready, and I think I'm just about ready to start laying some fiberglass resin in there and start getting my shape molded for the my final shape molded for the first time here. So we'll jump right to her here. Alright, so this is what I got, and this is what I'm going to be using. I got my speaker rings all finalized, ready here. I got my little bit of wood filler sanded in, my little screws pulled back so they don't pop out. And so this is what I got here going on for fiberglass resin. I picked this stuff up at body shop supply called Sherwin-Williams here. They have a auto body supply section, and this is where I get this stuff from here, the Proform. I find it a little bit easier to work with than the 3M stuff that you see at most hardware stores and stuff. So, and I can get larger containers for a better price. Also, that's another thing to keep in mind. You save a couple of bucks. And you can do a lot more with one of these containers for the price. I think for what I pay for this, I think I normally get a crappy tire or something like, I don't even know if it's half the size. This is a 3.78 liter. So I mean, anyhow, you get the gist of her. We got a paintbrush. You don't need no fancy painter's paintbrush. This is all I could find here close to the store to me. So any cheap old brush will do. You're just putting fiberglass in it, disposable. I mean, the cheaper the better, really. I save my little butter containers and stuff like that. Little plastic containers. These are perfect. They're great for mixing your fiberglass resin in when you're done. It just let it harden up, and you can, if you want to reuse your container, it'll just pop right out. I'll show you guys later. So yeah, I mean, that's all you got. You got your hardener. So we're gonna jump right to her. We're gonna get these mounted up into the cage, and for one last final time, and we'll start applying our resin, and I'll show you guys probably all about that. One sec. Alright, all locked in. Got one clamp holding her at the back. 10 pounds of dumbbells. Who says dumbbells are dumb? Not me. I checked her all out from the inside. She looks pretty good. Checked some measurements a little bit. Finger measurements. Everything looks good inside. So I'm pretty much ready to start laying some resin down in here and getting this whole piece hardened all up. Alright, everybody, hold on one second. Maybe what we'll do is yeah, just one sec. Actually, we'll start mixing up the resin here, and we'll get this show on the road, and we'll get this all hardened up. Hopefully we can get this all hardened up and everything all, and show you guys what everything's going to look like with the speakers kind of installed in the box and everything all into one part here. We'll see if we got enough time to fit it all in there. Alright, everybody, hold on one sec. We'll get to mixing some fiberglass here, and we'll get right to work. One sec here. Oh, didn't work that time. My magic finger must be broken. Here, let's try this again. Alright, here we are. Made it into the shed. Had to kick out Fred, so he had some room to work here. There we go. We got everything set up the same way as we did inside here. Well, I did anyways until I jacked her up and moved her around. Anyhow, there we go. Awesome. Perfect. Got that all right where I want it. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start getting our resin ready. That's our next beautiful step here. Ah, man. Should have thought about that. Oh, it's only little grains. Ain't going to hurt it. We'll get enough in there. I'd rather have more than enough resin than not enough. Now, it's pretty cold in here, so this here stuff here would probably take a little while to set. So I got like tons of time to work. Tons of time to work. So I can add a good amount of hardener. And I'll have tons of time to work with this stuff because the temperature's so cold that it pretty much won't set until I add heat. So yeah, there we go. We'll just get this all mixed up here, and then we'll get to make sure you mix her up well. You want to make sure you get that mixed up really good. And warmer temperatures, obviously, you're going to have less working time, but there's some other stuff out there that I'd love to try, but I see it's pretty expensive. Sun flash stuff. You just put it out in the sun, it hardens itself, but I don't know. Seems pretty expensive for what it is. We'll just stick with this stuff for now. It's pretty strong smelling stuff. I should probably have my masks, but I ran out. Oh well, shed's well ventilated. It's not like we do this all day, every day. Alright, we'll get this mixed up here, and then we'll get to putting this stuff on. 1 second here. Here we go. No turning back now. Make sure you get this stuff really soaked. And up here on the tops here, I'm only going to go about halfway for now, so that I can figure out, well, up here I can go a little further. I just want to make sure that everything stays nice and tight, and that I can make sure that I can work in my top piece later and keep my shape. The trick is to get this stuff really soaked. You want this to soak right into your fabric really good. And these clips, they're probably not going to stay in there, so we'll just start on the top side, and then we'll work our way in through into the bottom side. You want to make sure to get it soaked in everywhere. Like, you don't really want to try not to miss a spot. That's really important. Whatever we don't get from this side, I'm sure we'll be able to get from the other side. Alright, well, you guys got the gist of it, so you don't want to see this process all being done, do you? You guys like skipping right to the good stuff. To see where we're going. To see how she's looking from there, don't you? Alright, everybody, well, I'll just get back to doing this, and we'll be right back in a flash. Here we go. This is where we're at. We've got a resin semi-hardened here. Well, it's hardened, but I mean, there ain't enough there to keep these edges here nice and hard yet. They're pretty stiff. So this is what we're doing. We're just we're gonna move these clips back. We're gonna be taking these off before we can't take them off no more. As you see, it kind of moves the material a little bit, but no biggie. We just take the clamp here and we'll just put it underneath, out of the way, a little bit deeper down. Because what we're going to do is, I'll show you guys in a minute, but I'm going to cut some strips of fiberglass mesh. That'll go about halfway down here. We don't want them to go much more than that, because then it'll just make it hard to take everything on and off after when it's done. Don't want to cut too much. And then obviously once I want to be able to take it off, I want to be able to take it off easily. I don't want to have to start cutting it off. That would be a pain in the ass here. So I went and I picked up a few extra materials here at the over at Crap Tire. This is quickest, easiest spot for me to grab stuff. I'll show you guys what I got over here going on here, and what we're gonna be doing next here. My bag of goodies here. Trip to Canadian Tire to get a $40 heater ended up costing me $100. But hey, now I got some more horsepower stickers. Alright, so we got our tools for fiberglassing ready to go. I've had this stuff here sitting around for a little while, fiberglass cloth. This stuff here is this is what I'll be using. I'll be cutting strips of this about yay wide. I'll show you when I got them cut here. And this is what I'll be using on the top portions of the roll bars, like up here, to kind of make me a nice half moon there, a nice solid kind of. You'll see, anyways. Hard to explain exactly what's in my head sometimes. A lot of stuff in there. Got me a box of rubber gloves. Need those. Tired of having sticky hands. Some cheap little brushes for fiberglassing. That resin on there, little disposable guys. Got those. I think it was 5 in a pack for $6 or something. Got some acetone here to help clean the fiberglass roller tools here, so we can keep these guys here healthy for a long time. And I think the last part we have in here that we're going to be using to finish up here is some fiberglass mat, the stranded kind. This stuff here is going to help shape a little bit easier into these curved areas. Kind of keeps the shape better than that other stuff does. That stuff there will work good for up here, but the matted stuff will work good for my really odd shapes, my little tiny spots that I want to get in. You guys will see how I do that anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving my clips down best I can here out of the way, and we'll hopefully everything stays nice and tight enough. In most spots it has anyhow. So I'll get that all cut up here, and when I get my pieces cut up, before I lay down some more resin on here, I'll give you guys
here,
we'll show you what I was talking about here. This is the fiberglass mat there, the woven stuff here. Stuff here's doesn't have a lot of space between it, you know what I mean? It'll flatten. It normally hardens really well, and this is what I was talking about here, about the plan here. See, I'm going to use this stuff all along the edges. And it's important, I mean, for anybody of you guys that never played with fiberglass before, I mean, if you want to start playing with this stuff, I mean, it's really easy stuff to get started with. I mean, as long as you know, there's lots of great YouTube videos out there and stuff like that. I mean, if you want to learn that part of it, maybe I'll do some YouTube videos later on showing a little bit more of actual fiberglass and work, but we'll try to get some of it in here. It's just I'm not set up very well, as you can tell. I only have a phone to videotape, so it's hard for me to videotape and work at the same time. And it seems like every time I ask somebody to be my cameraman, they forget how to use a camera all of a sudden. But anyways, we'll keep you posted here as I'm going along. I might just do these pieces here tonight. That way there, it's getting pretty late, and then I'll come back out tomorrow, and then I'll finish with the put one layer at least of the more fibrous stuff here on the inside.
Right.
But we're just about done getting this little top piece on here. So the trick is when you're putting in this stuff is do not be scared to get this stuff wet. Get it really, 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 really wet. And I find the dabbing works the best. Just keep dabbing at her. She'll keep packing her down here. See, keep getting her nice and soaking wet. And as she gets nice and soaking wet, she'll really stick and take form here after a minute. You just gotta kind of keep at her for a few seconds, kind of work all the little kinks and the air bubbles out here. I like to kind of just brush along them, kind of one motion here. I think my resin's starting to thicken up there, just a hair here. There we go, nice, and just get her a little more in here. I mean, it's hard to tell, but I got a ridge going all the way down, all around the edge of everywhere's, going all the way around. That's this is for strength. This, you know, simply on its own, the fabric's not strong enough with just that and the resin. I mean, you have to add something for strength. So this will strengthen up the ridges up top. And like I said, we'll probably end up having to put, I'd say 2 layers. 2 layers usually. I can get stuff pretty strong with 2 layers, but you never know. Maybe if we want to make her a little more rigid, maybe we'll go for the full 3 layers. But 2 layers should be plenty strong, especially with all these curves and everything. And with the way that I'm gonna finish it off at the top, I came up with an ingenious way of finishing this after with the top piece, so that'll be pretty cool. So anyways, we're gonna keep plucking along at this, and we're gonna leave this to dry for the night, I think. The way it is, we'll come back to her tomorrow. Hopefully everything will be nice and hard, and I'll be able to maybe just give her a quick little sand and clean up these little rough edges here, and then we'll slap the we'll go right to town with the mesh fiberglass, putting that in there, get all this piece all nice and strong, so then we can pop this puppy out and see what speakers are gonna look like in this thing. Ha ha! Nice. Sussy sweet. Nice and hard all over the place. Alright, so here we are. I got all my pieces cut. All my mesh pieces cut here to fill in all my extra spots here. Try to get them into every little tiny nook and cranny there. I got some little, we'll tear up some little pieces after to fill in the little spots here. But you know, when you're going down with this stuff, I find it's best to always dab. Always dab. Dabbing is the best. Because if you try to brush it on with this stuff, it's not going to work well. It's just going to pull the fibers everywhere, and you're going to have a hard time. And you're going to make a big mess everywhere. As I find it's just better if you just get it wet. You just start it up. Get lots of resin on there. Dab it on. Start up around your edges. Get lots and lots of resin on there. Get it soaked. And then just dab it away. Make sure you get your edges all nice and soaked and dabbed on there. You know, when I say dab, I mean dab the fiberglass. I don't mean run inside and hit your dabber. Okay. That's all you do. You just keep dabbing away at that. See if we can get a better angle here. Give you guys a shot. It's not easy for me to pay attention to the screen and pay attention to what I'm doing at the same time here. Just keep dabbing until you get that all wet and soaked everywhere. And you just keep working your way around and see, like these edges here, what I did is I already pre-brushed on some resin onto these areas, and then I stuck my fiberglass stuck a little bit better, so it's already wet underneath. So really, I mean, I could probably almost just go around and just dab it all on here, and then go add some resin after. There, that works nicely, see? And try to work out any of your bubbles. If I see any bubbles, actually, I'll probably be trying out some of my new tools here that I ordered off of Amazon. I think those will be pretty cool to try here. Try those out here. Roll out the air bubbles. Get a nice, solid. I mean, you can push out quite a bit of it. I get it usually pretty good just by dabbing. Made a few things out of fiberglass already. Come out pretty decent, and I usually just have to dab it all on. You guys are probably getting tired of hearing me say dab. Alright, so I think you guys get the gist of that. We're just going to keep going around here, getting all our pieces wet. I think you guys get the science behind this here now, that this will reinforce all of the inside of the, because just the material alone won't be strong enough. So we got, you pre-cut all your pieces to where you want them, and then you go around and you get your fiberglassing done here. Right on, stick around. We'll check her out there once we got all this dab down. All right. All right, everybody, here she is, all wet. Final layer of fiberglass on here. Well, I say final, but she might get one more. We'll see once this hardens up. I think she's going to be pretty hard, but I think this will be pretty good once this is done here. Some pretty impressive fiberglass work, if I do say so myself, actually. But I'm not going to toot my own horn just yet until I get this off of here, and I'll see, once I get this all done, I'll fucking try to stand on this thing to see if she holds up. How's that? Maybe not with just the 1 layer, 2 layers she would for sure. There we go. So I think this will conclude part 1 here. Or part 3, I should say. part 10 of part 3 for me. So this will take care of part 3. We'll end her here, because this is going to take up quite a bit of time on this one video here. So what we'll do is, when we start back on part 4, is we'll be popping this off. We'll be cutting our holes out for our speakers. We'll be test fitting our speakers. And hopefully by then I'll have my new Dremel tool here, because my Dremel bit the dust on me. And I'll be able to cut off all the excess parts here real easily. Nice and sleek like. And we'll maybe be able to get to see what it's actually going to look like with the speakers sitting in there wrapped up. That'll be pretty awesome. Plus, I got a little extra surprise for you guys on the speakers. I wasn't totally done on those grills. I had a little extra part on there, and we'll throw that zinger in there for part 4. So, alright, everybody, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy this build, if you just enjoy listening to me talk, or if you even just enjoy muting the video while you see what's going on, smash that like button, smash that follow button. I really appreciate it. Really lets me know that I'm not out here talking to myself. I see there's lots of people that are already catching the videos, and that's awesome. I mean, I'll try to keep them coming, keep the weekly updates coming here as good as I can. Thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate all the support through the group in RZR Canada. Everybody's great in there. And we'll catch you on the flip side in part 4.